Rain poured over downtown Chicago. The streets were almost empty as Adam Cole, a 34-year-old taxi driver, checked the time on his dashboard. 11:47 p.m., he sighed. One last ride, then I'm going home. Adam had been driving taxis for nearly 10 years. Life wasn't easy. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier, leaving him to raise his 12-year-old son Ethan alone. Every extra shift meant another school bill paid. As he waited at a red light, his phone buzzed with a ride request. Pick up Lincoln Street. Only 2 minutes away. Adam accepted. When he arrived, the street was strangely quiet. No passengers, no traffic, only the sound of heavy rain hitting the pavement. He was about to cancel the ride, when suddenly, a young woman ran out of a dark alley. She looked terrified. Her white shirt was stained with blood. Her hands were shaking. She threw open the taxi door and jumped inside. Drive! Adam stared at her through the rearview mirror. Miss, are you hurt? She looked over her shoulder. They're coming. Please, just drive. Without another question, Adam pressed the accelerator. The taxi had barely moved 20 feet when 3 black SUVs turned onto the street behind them. Their headlights pierced through the rain. The lead SUV accelerated. Fast, very fast. Adam frowned. Are they following us? The woman looked back. Her face turned pale. Yes, they found me. Suddenly, bang! A gunshot echoed through the night. The taxi's rear windshield shattered. Glass exploded across the back seat. Adam ducked instinctively. What the hell? The woman pulled a small silver flash drive from her jacket. With trembling hands, she placed it in Adam's palm. If anything happens to me... Don't let them have this. Adam looked down at the flash drive. What is it? She swallowed hard. The truth? Another gunshot rang out. The black SUVs were getting closer. Adam gripped the steering wheel tighter. He had no idea who the woman was, or why armed men were trying to kill her. But one thing was certain. Turning back was no longer an option. Adam slammed his foot on the accelerator. The taxi surged through the rain-soaked streets as the 3 black SUVs stayed close behind. Their headlights filled his rearview mirror. They're gaining on us, Adam shouted. The young woman leaned against the seat, breathing heavily. Blood continued to soak through her shirt. You have to lose them. They can't get that flash drive. Adam turned sharply into a narrow side street. The first SUV followed. The second, the third. Tires screeched against the wet pavement. Suddenly, one of the SUVs rammed the back of the taxi. Bam! Adam nearly lost control. The woman screamed. The taxi spun sideways before Adam steadied the wheel. Who are these people? He asked. She hesitated. They don't exist. What? They're called the Shadow Network. They control politicians, judges, police officers, even the news. Adam laughed nervously. That sounds impossible. She looked him straight in the eyes. That's exactly what they want people to believe. Another SUV pulled alongside the taxi. A masked man leaned out of the window. He pointed a rifle directly at Adam. Bang! The front passenger window shattered. Adam instinctively swerved left. The SUV slammed into a parked truck, spinning out of control. One vehicle was gone, but 2 remained. Rain poured even harder. Adam spotted an underground parking garage. Hold on! He turned sharply into the entrance. The SUVs followed. Inside, the echo of engines filled the concrete structure. Adam switched off the taxi's headlights. Darkness surrounded them. He slowly drove between rows of parked cars. For a moment, everything became silent. The SUVs disappeared. We lost them, Adam whispered. The woman closed her eyes in relief. But then, a red laser dot appeared on Adam's chest. Then another, and another. Someone was already waiting inside the garage. A cold voice echoed through the darkness. Step out of the taxi! And leave the flash drive on the ground. The underground parking garage was silent. Only the sound of rain dripping from the ceiling echoed through the darkness. 3 red laser dots remained fixed on Adam's chest. The mysterious voice spoke again. 5 seconds. Leave the flash drive, or you both die. Adam slowly raised his hands. His heart was pounding. The young woman suddenly grabbed his arm. Don't listen to them. They'll kill us anyway. Before Adam could respond, She reached beneath the seat and pulled out a small black smoke grenade. "Close your eyes!" She pulled the pin. Hiss! Thick white smoke filled the garage within seconds. Gunshots erupted. Bang! 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 Bullets tore through the taxi windows. Adam ducked low and slammed the accelerator. The taxi burst through the smoke, crashing into a security barrier before speeding out onto the opposite street. They drove for nearly 10 minutes without speaking. Finally, Adam stopped beneath an abandoned railway bridge. He turned toward the woman. "Who are you?" She remained silent. Then she slowly removed a silver necklace from around her neck. Hidden inside the pendant was a tiny photograph. It showed her standing beside a smiling man in an FBI uniform. "My name is Mia Brooks," she said quietly. "I'm an investigative journalist." Adam frowned. "And the man in the picture?"
"My brother."
"Special Agent Lucas Brooks." Her eyes filled with tears. "They murdered him 3 weeks ago. They called it a robbery. It wasn't." He was about to expose the shadow network. Adam looked at the flash drive in his hand. "So this contains his investigation?" Mia nodded. "Everything. Names, bank accounts, secret recordings. If this reaches the public, the most powerful criminal organization in America will collapse." Suddenly, Adam's phone began ringing. The caller ID showed only one word. "Unknown," he answered cautiously. A calm male voice spoke. "Mr. Adam Cole, if you want to stay alive. I do not trust Mia Brooks." The call disconnected. Adam slowly looked at Mia. She had gone completely pale. Adam stared at Mia. The words from the mysterious phone call echoed in his mind. "Do not trust Mia Brooks." He slowly lowered his phone. "Someone just warned me about you." Mia's face froze. "What did they say?" Adam hesitated. "They said you're lying." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Mia reached into her pocket and handed Adam a small FBI badge. It belonged to her brother. On the back, a message was scratched into the metal. "Trust no one." Mia looked at Adam. "My brother engraved that the day before he died. He knew someone inside the FBI wanted him dead." Adam frowned. "So why should I trust you?" Before Mia could answer, a loud alarm sounded from Adam's phone. Every news channel switched to breaking news. A reporter stood outside a luxury hotel surrounded by police cars. Breaking news. Detective Michael Carter found murdered. Police named taxi driver Adam Cole as prime suspect. Adam's eyes widened. "What?" The screen showed security footage. A blurry man wearing Adam's jacket was running away from the crime scene. "This isn't me!" Adam shouted. Mia looked closer.
"They're framing you."
The reporter continued. "Authorities believe Adam Cole is armed and extremely dangerous. A reward of $1 million has been announced for information, leading to his arrest." Adam's hands began shaking. "My son, Ethan is home alone." Mia immediately grabbed his arm. "No!" "If you go home now, they'll be waiting." Adam looked at the photograph of Ethan on his phone. "I can't leave him." Just then, his phone rang. It was Ethan. Adam answered instantly. "Dad," a frightened voice whispered, "they're inside the house. They're asking where you are." Then the line went dead. The cabin was eerily quiet. Rain continued to fall outside as Adam locked every door and window. Mia sat on an old wooden chair, exhausted. Her wound had started bleeding again. Adam searched the kitchen cabinets until he found a first aid kit. "I'm not a doctor," he said nervously. "But if we don't stop the bleeding, you'll pass out." Mia managed a weak smile. "I've had worse." Adam carefully cleaned the wound on her shoulder. It was a bullet graze. Whoever had fired at her wanted her alive, at least for now. When he finished, Mia reached into her jacket and pulled out a folded newspaper clipping. The headline read, "FBI Agent Lucas Brooks dies in highway robbery." Adam looked at the article. "There are no witnesses." Mia nodded. "Because every witness disappeared." She pointed at a photo of her brother. Lucas knew the shadow network had people inside the FBI. He couldn't trust anyone. "So he trusted me." She looked at the silver flash drive. "Everything he discovered is in there." Adam picked up his laptop. Let's see what's on it. He plugged in the flash drive. A password screen appeared. Enter security code. Adam sighed. It's encrypted. Mia thought for a moment. Lucas always used dates that mattered. She typed his birthday. Access denied. She tried their mother's birthday. Again, access denied. The screen flashed a warning. 1 attempt remaining. Adam frowned. If we get it wrong again, it could erase everything. Just then, the cabin lights suddenly went out. Darkness filled the room. Outside, the sound of tires crunching on gravel echoed through the night. Adam slowly pulled back the curtain. 3 black SUVs had stopped outside the cabin. Dozens of armed men stepped out. One of them looked directly toward the window and smiled. They found us, Adam whispered. Before anyone could react, someone knocked on the front door. Knock, knock, knock! A calm voice came from outside. Mr. Cole, we know you're in there. And this time, there's nowhere left to run. Adam's heart pounded as the knocking grew louder. Knock, knock, knock! The calm voice outside returned. Mr. Cole, this is your last chance. Open the door. Mia quietly loaded the magazine into a pistol she had hidden beneath the floorboards. Adam stared at her in shock. You had a gun this whole time? I was hoping I wouldn't need it. The lights suddenly came back on. The cabin's security cameras flickered to life. One screen showed dozens of armed men surrounding the cabin. Another showed black SUVs blocking every road. There was no escape. Then, a third camera activated by itself. A man wearing a black hoodie appeared on the screen. His face was hidden. He spoke calmly. Adam, do not open the door. Adam frowned. Who are you? The stranger ignored the question. Instead, he looked directly into the camera. They're not here to arrest you. They're here to erase everyone connected to the flash drive. Mia stepped closer. She suddenly froze. No, it can't be. Adam looked at her. You know him. Tears filled Mia's eyes. She whispered. Lucas. Adam turned back toward the screen. The man is your brother? Mia nodded slowly. My brother died 3 weeks ago. The hooded man pulled back his hood. He had the same face as the FBI agent in Mia's old photograph. Lucas Brooks was alive. I faked my death, he said. It was the only way to stay ahead of the shadow network. Adam couldn't believe what he was seeing. If you're alive, who's buried in your grave? Lucas looked down for a moment. A man who died because of me. Before anyone could ask another question. Boom! The front door exploded inward. Masked gunmen stormed into the cabin. Lucas shouted through the screen. Run! There's a hidden tunnel beneath the fireplace. As Adam pulled the rug away, he discovered a steel trapdoor. The first gunman raised his rifle. Adam grabbed Mia's hand. They jumped into the darkness, just as bullets ripped through the cabin above them. Adam and Mia crashed into the narrow tunnel below. The steel trapdoor slammed shut above them. Seconds later, bang, bang, bang! Bullets pierced the wooden floor, sending dust raining down into the tunnel.
It's a dead end!
Adam shouted. Mia grabbed his arm. No, keep moving. The tunnel stretched deep beneath the forest. Old emergency lights flickered on the damp concrete walls. It looked like someone had built it decades ago. After several minutes of running, they reached a heavy steel door. A fingerprint scanner glowed beside it. Access denied. Adam looked at Mia. Now what? Before she could answer, a hidden speaker crackled. A familiar voice echoed through the tunnel. Place the flash drive on the scanner. It was Lucas. Adam carefully held the flash drive against the glass panel. A green light appeared. Identity verified. The massive steel door slowly opened. Behind it was an underground command center filled with computers, satellite screens and surveillance monitors. Dozens of red dots flashed across a digital map of Chicago. Adam stared in disbelief. What is this place? Lucas stepped out from the shadows. For the first time, Adam saw him in person. He was alive, bruised, exhausted, but alive. Mia ran toward him and hugged him tightly. I thought you were dead. Lucas smiled sadly. I wanted everyone to think that. He looked at Adam. Thank you for protecting my sister. Adam frowned. I still don't understand. Lucas walked to one of the monitors. He pressed a button. A photograph appeared on the screen. It showed Adam, standing beside Detective Michael Carter. Adam's eyes widened. "I've never met him." Lucas zoomed in on the image. "It isn't you. It's someone wearing a hyper-realistic disguise. The Shadow Network has a professional assassin who can become anyone." Adam felt a chill run down his spine. "So they didn't just frame me?" Lucas nodded. "They stole your identity." Before anyone could speak again, every monitor in the room suddenly turned black. A single message appeared in red letters. "We found you." Then the entire bunker shook violently. An explosion echoed from above. The ceiling began to crack. Lucas whispered, "They're already here." The underground bunker trembled as dust fell from the ceiling. Warning sirens echoed through every corridor. "Security breach detected." Lucas rushed to the control panel, typing commands as fast as he could. Satellite cameras came back online. The screens showed dozens of heavily armed mercenaries surrounding the bunker. Explosives had already been planted around the entrances. Adam stared at the monitors.
They found us in less than 10 minutes.
Lucas nodded grimly. "They didn't. They were already tracking us." Mia suddenly remembered something. The phone. She pulled Adam's phone from his pocket. Lucas immediately grabbed it. Without hesitation, he smashed it against the floor. The screen shattered. "It's compromised," he said. "They activated your microphone and GPS the moment you answered that unknown call." Adam clenched his fists. "So they've been listening to everything?" Lucas nodded. "Every conversation." He opened a steel locker and removed 3 fake passports, bundles of cash and 2 compact pistols. "Take these. We leave in 60 seconds. Before they could move, one of the surveillance cameras zoomed in on a man standing outside the bunker. He wasn't carrying a weapon. He wore an expensive black suit. His face was calm, almost emotionless. The mercenaries stood behind him like soldiers awaiting orders. Lucas froze. His face turned pale. "No." Mia looked at the screen. "Who is he?" Lucas whispered only 2 words. "The Ghost." Adam frowned. "Who's that?" Lucas didn't answer immediately. Instead, he opened a classified file on the computer. A photograph appeared. The same man. Underneath it was written, "Real name unknown. Alias the Ghost. Status never failed a mission. Total confirmed kills 147. Adam swallowed hard.
He's here for us?
Lucas slowly shook his head. "No. The Ghost doesn't come for witnesses. He only appears when the Shadow Network wants to eliminate one of its own." Suddenly, a single gunshot echoed outside. Bang! The mercenaries on the cameras began collapsing one by one. The Ghost hadn't come to kill Adam. He had come to kill someone else inside the bunker. The bunker fell silent. Everyone stared at the surveillance screens. Outside, mercenaries dropped to the ground one after another. Each had been killed with a single perfectly aimed shot. No panic. No missed bullets. Only precision. Adam whispered. "He's taking out his own men." Lucas shook his head. "No. He's removing witnesses." Within seconds, every mercenary outside was dead. Only one man remained standing. The Ghost. He calmly adjusted his black gloves and walked toward the bunker entrance. There was no fear in his eyes. Only purpose. Suddenly, the bunker speakers came to life. A calm voice echoed through every room. "Lucas Brooks, you have exactly 2 minutes. Bring me the flash drive. I'll spare the others." Mia grabbed Lucas's arm. "Don't listen to him." Lucas looked away. His hands were trembling. Adam noticed something strange. "You know him." Lucas remained silent. Adam stepped closer. "Who is he?" Lucas finally spoke. 5 years ago. I trained beside him in a classified FBI task force. He was my partner." Mia looked stunned. "What happened?" Lucas closed his eyes. "He disappeared during an undercover mission. Everyone believed he was dead." Adam looked back at the screen. "So how did he become the Ghost?" Before Lucas could answer, the massive steel bunker door unlocked by itself. Access granted. Lucas's face turned pale. "That's impossible. The system can only be opened from inside." Adam slowly turned around. Standing near the control panel was Mia. Her hand rested on the emergency override switch. Tears rolled down her face. "I'm sorry. I never had a choice." The bunker door began to open, and the ghost stepped inside, smiling. Adam stood frozen. The ghost's words echoed through the bunker. "You were the first." He slowly shook his head. "You're lying. I've been a taxi driver my entire life." The ghost smiled. "That's what they wanted you to believe." Lucas tightened his grip on his pistol. "Don't listen to him, Adam. He's trying to confuse you." The ghost ignored Lucas. Instead, he pulled a worn-out photograph from his coat and tossed it onto the floor. Adam picked it up. His hands began to tremble. The picture showed two young boys, about 10 years old, standing in front of a military training facility. One of them was unmistakably Adam. The other was the ghost. On the back of the photo were handwritten words: Project Phoenix, Class 001 and 002. Adam stared at it in disbelief. "I've never seen this before." The ghost took a slow step closer. "No, because your memories were erased." Mia looked horrified. "What kind of project was Phoenix?" Lucas answered before the ghost could speak. "It was a classified government experiment. They kidnapped orphaned children and trained them to become perfect covert operatives." Adam's breathing became heavy. "I wasn't an orphan. I had parents." The ghost's expression turned serious. "No, Adam. You were told you had parents. They were actors. Everything before the age of 12 was fabricated." Adam felt the room spinning. Fragments of memories flashed through his mind. A dark training room, a man shouting orders, children running obstacle courses, the sound of gunfire. He grabbed his head in pain. "No, this isn't real." Suddenly, a hidden projector activated on the bunker wall. An old classified video began playing. It showed a group of children in military uniforms. A young instructor pointed toward the camera. "Subject 01, Adam Carter, most successful recruit in Project Phoenix." Adam's heart stopped. "Carter? My name is Adam Cole." Lucas looked down. "No, it wasn't. They changed your identity after you escaped." Before anyone could speak again, the bunker lights suddenly turned blood red. A robotic voice echoed through the speakers. "Project Phoenix has been reactivated." The bunker lights flashed crimson. A cold robotic voice echoed through every corridor. "Project Phoenix activated. Subject 01 detected." Adam stepped back in disbelief. "I'm not Subject 01. I'm Adam Cole." The computer ignored him. Instead, another screen lit up. A classified military file slowly appeared. Project Phoenix. Status top secret. Access level Omega. Lucas stared at the screen. This program was supposed to be destroyed 15 years ago. The ghost smiled. "It never ended. It simply went underground." The monitor began playing another video. A young Adam, no older than 11, stood inside a training room. His face was bruised. His hands trembled. A man in a military uniform walked toward him. He placed a pistol on the table. "Choose. Pull the trigger, or watch your friend die." Young Adam looked at the boy beside him. He was crying. Without warning, the video cut to black. Adam collapsed to his knees. No, I remember him. The boy. He was my best friend. The ghost nodded. His name was Noah. You refused to kill him. Adam looked up. What happened to him? The ghost remained silent for a moment. Then he answered. They killed him. They wanted to teach us that emotions make us weak. Adam's fists tightened. His eyes filled with tears. They lied to me my entire life. Lucas walked over and placed a hand on Adam's shoulder. They erased your memories because you escaped. Mia suddenly noticed another folder hidden inside the database. She clicked it open. Her face turned pale. Lucas, you need to see this. The file contained a list of every surviving Phoenix recruit. Most names were marked deceased, terminated, missing. Only 2 names remained active. Subject 001, Adam Carter. Subject 02, the ghost. Then, a 3rd name slowly appeared on the screen, one that hadn't been there before. Subject 003, Ethan Cole. Adam's blood ran cold. My son. The ghost looked directly into Adam's eyes. They've already found him. Adam's world came crashing down. He stared at the screen, unable to breathe. Subject 003, Ethan Cole. His 12-year-old son, listed as part of Project Phoenix. No, this has to be fake. Lucas quickly searched the database. The file opened. Every page contained photographs of Ethan. At school, at the park, even inside Adam's own house. Someone had been watching them for years. Mia whispered. They've been tracking him since he was born. Adam slammed his fist against the desk. Why? What does my son have to do with this? The ghost answered calmly, because Phoenix never truly ended. It became a legacy. When Subject 01 disappeared, the organization waited for the next generation. Adam shook his head. They'll never touch my son. The ghost's expression darkened. They already have. Lucas suddenly received an alert on one of the monitors. A live security camera appeared on the screen. It showed Ethan's middle school. Police cars surrounded the building. Children were being evacuated. Teachers were screaming. Adam stepped closer. What happened? Lucas zoomed in. 3 black SUVs were parked outside the school. Men dressed as police officers were leading children into armored vans. One of them grabbed Ethan by the shoulder. Ethan struggled. I want my dad! The fake officer smiled. You'll see him soon. Adam's heart stopped. Ethan! Without thinking, he grabbed a rifle from the weapons rack. I'm going after my son. Lucas blocked his path. Adam, it's a trap. I don't care. They're taking my boy. The ghost quietly walked toward the exit. I'll help you. Everyone looked at him in shock. Lucas raised his pistol. Why would you help us? For the first time, the ghost's cold expression disappeared. He looked at Ethan's image on the monitor. Then he whispered, because I made a promise to someone. That no child would ever suffer through Project Phoenix again. Before anyone could ask what he meant, every screen in the bunker suddenly went black. A single message appeared. You have 1 hour to bring Subject 01, or Subject 003 dies. The words on the monitor burned into Adam's eyes. You have 1 hour. A countdown appeared beneath the message. 8:59. It began ticking down. Every second felt like a knife. Adam gripped his rifle. I'm going. Lucas blocked the exit. If you walk into this without a plan, you'll die before you even see Ethan. Adam shoved him aside. And if I stay here, my son dies. The ghost stepped between them. Enough. He walked to a large digital map projected on the wall. Red dots appeared across Chicago. These are Shadow Network safe houses. One location flashed brighter than the others. An abandoned steel factory near the river. Lucas frowned. How do you know that's where they're keeping Ethan? The ghost looked at him. Because I trained there. Silence filled the bunker. He zoomed in on the blueprint. The factory has 3 entrances. The front gate is a trap. The rooftop is covered with snipers. He pointed to an old drainage tunnel beneath the building. This is the only way inside. Mia looked at the countdown. 47 safe. We don't have enough time. The ghost opened another weapons locker. Inside were military-grade rifles, body armor, night vision goggles, and explosives. Adam stared at the equipment. You've been preparing for this. The ghost nodded. For 15 years. Lucas looked confused. If you've wanted to destroy the Shadow Network all this time...
Why work for them?
The ghost lowered his head. They were holding someone I loved. Before he could explain further, a hidden phone inside the bunker began ringing. Unknown number. Adam answered immediately. A video call appeared. Ethan was tied to a metal chair inside a dark warehouse. His face was bruised. Dad, I'm scared. Adam's eyes filled with tears. I'm coming, son. A masked man stepped into view. His face remained hidden. He placed a pistol against Ethan's head. 1 hour, Adam. Come alone. If we see anyone with you... Your son dies first. The call ended. The countdown continued. 0403. The ghost looked directly at Adam, then quietly said, There's something you need to know. The man holding your son is the one who created Project Phoenix. Silence filled the bunker. The countdown continued to tick. 0043. Adam looked at the ghost. The man holding Ethan created Project Phoenix. The ghost nodded slowly. His name is General Victor Kane. Lucas's face turned pale. I thought he died 10 years ago. So did the world, the ghost replied. He faked his death after the government shut Phoenix down. He rebuilt it in secret. Mia asked, Why would someone create a program like this? The ghost stared into the distance. To build soldiers with no fear, no emotions, and complete obedience. He kidnapped children, erased their memories, and turned them into weapons. Adam clenched his fists, and I was his first success. No, the ghost said quietly. You were his first failure. Adam looked confused. You chose compassion instead of obedience. You refused to kill innocent people. So Kane erased your memories and gave you a new identity. Lucas opened another classified file. A photograph of General Victor Kane appeared on the screen. Adam's breathing stopped. I know that face. Broken memories flooded back. A cold training room, a man in a military uniform shouting orders, a child crying. Then, a deep voice. Pain creates perfection. Adam staggered backward. That's him. He used to say those words every day. The ghost nodded. He called himself our father. Suddenly, every monitor in the bunker switched on by themselves. General Victor Kane appeared on every screen. He was older now, but his eyes were as cold as ever. He smiled. Welcome home, Subject 01. Adam stared at him with burning anger. You took my childhood. You destroyed countless lives. Kane chuckled. And yet, you became exactly what I trained you to be. He snapped his fingers. The camera moved. Ethan was brought into view, tied to a chair beside a ticking bomb. A digital timer read 00 train to 0. Kane smiled. You now have 30 minutes. Come alone. Or watch your son die on live television. The screens went black. Adam picked up his rifle. His eyes were no longer filled with fear. They were filled with rage. Adam loaded the rifle with trembling hands. The countdown on the monitor showed 0:29:32. Every second brought Ethan closer to death. Lucas grabbed a tactical vest and handed it to Adam. Wear this. Adam shook his head. I don't have time. You'll need it if you want to survive. The ghost opened a steel cabinet and spread the blueprints of the abandoned steel factory across the table. This building was once a military research facility. There are over 50 armed guards, motion sensors, thermal cameras, and snipers on every rooftop. Mia looked at the map. So walking through the front gate is suicide. The ghost nodded. Exactly. He pointed to a narrow drainage tunnel beneath the factory. This tunnel leads directly beneath the main warehouse. It hasn't been used in years. Lucas frowned. How do you know? The ghost answered without hesitation. Because I built it. Silence filled the room. Adam looked at him. You helped build this place? The ghost lowered his eyes. I was 16. I had no choice. Mia checked the timer. 0:04. We're running out of time. Lucas opened another weapons case. Inside were smoke grenades, flashbangs, suppressed pistols, and night vision goggles. Adam picked up a pistol. I don't want revenge. I only want my son. The ghost looked at him. That's what makes you different from me. Suddenly, a hidden alarm echoed through the bunker. Lucas rushed to the surveillance screens. His face turned white.
Oh no.
More than 20 black SUVs were racing toward the bunker. Behind them, 2 military helicopters appeared over the forest. They found us again. The ghost calmly looked at the map. We don't have enough time to fight them, Adam asked. So what do we do? The ghost pulled a small remote from his pocket. He smiled for the first time. We don't fight. We disappear. He pressed the button. A massive explosion erupted behind the bunker. The entire underground base began collapsing. Lucas stared at him. You planted explosives? The ghost nodded. Years ago. If I ever escaped. I promised myself I'd leave nothing behind. As the bunker collapsed around them, the 4 disappeared into the underground drainage tunnel. None of them noticed. A tiny GPS tracker had been secretly attached to Adam's backpack. The drainage tunnel echoed with the sound of rushing water. Chunks of concrete crashed behind them as the bunker collapsed. Adam, Lucas, Mia, and the ghost ran without looking back. Minutes later, they emerged inside an abandoned subway station beneath Chicago. The air was damp. The platform was covered in dust. Old trains sat rusting on forgotten tracks. Adam checked his watch. Less than 19 minutes remained. We're close, the ghost said. The factory is only 2 miles away. Lucas suddenly stopped.
Wait!
He knelt beside Adam's backpack. A tiny red light blinked beneath one of the straps. His face turned pale. Oh no! What is it? Adam asked. Lucas carefully removed a coin-sized device. A military GPS tracker. Adam's eyes widened. They've been tracking us this whole time. The ghost took the device and smiled grimly. No, they're still tracking us. Without another word, he attached the tracker to an old maintenance cart sitting on the tracks. He pushed it toward a dark tunnel. Seconds later, the cart disappeared into the darkness. The ghost looked at Adam. Now they'll chase the wrong target. Just then, a deafening explosion echoed through the tunnel ahead. Boom! The blast knocked everyone to the ground. Dust filled the air. When it cleared, armed soldiers surrounded them from every direction. Night vision lasers danced across their bodies. A voice echoed through the station. Drop your weapons. Adam slowly looked up. Standing on the opposite platform was General Victor Kane. He wasn't inside the factory. He had been waiting for them all along. Kane smiled coldly. I knew you wouldn't let your son die. Adam raised his pistol. Where's Ethan? Kane stepped aside. A giant screen behind him lit up. Ethan was still tied to the chair, but the timer now showed only. They'll seen and see. Kane spread his arms. You have 2 choices. Surrender, or watch your son die. Before Adam could answer, the ghost quietly whispered, Don't look at Kane. Look behind him. Adam narrowed his eyes. Hidden in the shadows behind Kane, someone was secretly aiming a sniper rifle. Not at Adam, but at General Victor Kane himself. Adam kept his eyes fixed on General Victor Kane, but from the corner of his vision, he saw the figure hidden in the shadows. A sniper, completely motionless. The rifle was aimed directly at Kane's head. The ghost whispered, Don't react. If Kane notices him, we all die. The countdown on the giant screen continued. Don't touch one. Ethan struggled against the ropes. Dad! Please hurry. Adam's heart broke. He wanted to run to his son, but dozens of rifles were pointed at him. Kane smiled. Look at you, Subject 01. Even now, you still let your emotions control you. Adam stepped forward. I'm here. Let Ethan go. Kane laughed. You still think this is about your son? He pressed a button on a small remote. Another screen lit up. It showed a second room. Inside were nearly 20 children, all between 8 and 12 years old. Each wore a grey uniform. Each had a number stitched onto the sleeve. Mia gasped. My God. Lucas clenched his fists. They've started Project Phoenix again. Kane's smile grew wider. Your son isn't my greatest achievement. He is simply the newest recruit. Adam felt his knees weaken. You'll never turn him into a weapon. Kane's expression turned cold. I already have. He has completed 6 months of training. Adam shook his head.
That's impossible.
I've been with him. Kane smiled. Were you? He played a video. It showed Ethan inside a secret training facility, learning combat, solving tactical puzzles, and firing weapons. The date on the recording was from only 2 weeks earlier. Adam stared in horror. Those school trips, Lucas whispered. They weren't school trips. They were training sessions. Just then, a single shot echoed through the subway station. Bang! The hidden sniper fired. The bullet raced toward General Kane. But at the last second, the ghost leaped in front of him. The bullet struck the ghost in the chest. He collapsed to the ground. Adam rushed toward him. The ghost smiled weakly. I told you, no child would suffer through Phoenix again. Then he looked at Kane and whispered one sentence that left everyone frozen. He's not your father, Adam. He's your real father. Time seemed to stop. The ghost's final words echoed through the abandoned subway station. He's your real father, Adam? Adam stared at General Victor Kane. His hands slowly lowered the pistol. No.
You're lying.
Kane smiled without emotion. For the first time in your life. He told you the truth. Adam's breathing became uneven. My parents, they raised me. Kane shook his head. They were government agents. They adopted you after your memories were erased. I allowed it. Adam's eyes filled with tears. You destroyed my childhood. And now you expect me to call you father? Kane calmly replied, I didn't destroy you. I created you. You were born with extraordinary intelligence. Project Phoenix simply unlocked your potential. Lucas stepped forward angrily. You kidnapped children. You murdered innocent families. Kane looked at him. History never remembers the methods, only the results. Mia knelt beside the ghost. Blood continued to spread across his black coat. She tried to stop the bleeding. Stay with us. The ghost smiled weakly. It's too late. He reached into his pocket and handed Adam a small silver key. This opens the truth. Adam looked at the strange key. What truth? The ghost coughed. Beneath Kane's factory, there's a hidden vault. Inside is every file, every child, every crime. If you expose it, Phoenix dies forever. His hand slowly fell. The ghost closed his eyes. He was gone. Adam stood in silence. The man he had feared had sacrificed his own life to save Ethan. Kane didn't even look at the ghost's body. Instead, he checked the countdown. You're 58. He smiled. You have less than 5 minutes. Choose wisely. Save your son. Expose Project Phoenix. Adam gripped the silver key so tightly it cut into his palm. For the first time in years, he realized he couldn't save both. Then a small voice echoed from the giant screen. It was Ethan. Dad, if you have to choose, save the other children. Adam's heart shattered. Ethan's words echoed through the subway station. Dad, save the other children. Adam felt tears stream down his face. His 12-year-old son had just asked him to sacrifice him for dozens of children he had never met. Lucas whispered, Adam, we don't have much time. The countdown on the giant screen continued. 0347. General Victor Kane folded his arms. So, what will you do? Be a father. Or be a hero. Adam closed his eyes. For a moment, every memory of Ethan flashed before him. His first day of school, his first bicycle, the nights they spent eating cheap pizza while watching old movies, the promise Adam had made after his wife's death. I'll always protect him. Adam opened his eyes. He looked directly at Kane. I'm going to save them all. Kane laughed. Impossible. Adam slowly held up the silver key the ghost had given him. The ghost believed this could destroy you. Kane's smile vanished for the first time. His eyes locked onto the key. Where did you get that? Adam noticed the sudden fear in Kane's face. For the first time, the man who controlled Project Phoenix looked nervous. Lucas quietly whispered, Adam, he knows what that key opens. Mia looked at the blueprints on the monitor. There! She pointed beneath the steel factory. A hidden underground vault was marked with the symbol of Project Phoenix. The silver key was its only access. Kane suddenly shouted to his soldiers, Kill them! Before anyone could react, the station lights went out. Complete darkness. Gunfire erupted from every direction. Bang! 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 People screamed. Soldiers fired blindly. Adam grabbed Mia's hand while Lucas pulled him toward the railway tunnel. As they ran through the darkness, a deep explosion shook the station. When the emergency lights finally flickered back on, General Victor Kane was gone. So were Ethan. And the silver key. Adam looked down at his empty hand. Someone had stolen it during the chaos. Then a voice echoed through the darkness. "You're too late, Subject 01. Adam stared at his empty hand. The silver key was gone. So was Kane. Lucas searched the platform. Nobody could have escaped that fast. Mia suddenly pointed toward the tracks. "Look!" A fresh trail of blood led into a narrow maintenance tunnel beneath the station. "It belongs to Kane," Lucas said. "He was hit during the firefight." Adam didn't hesitate. "If he's bleeding, we can still catch him." The three followed the trail deep underground. Minutes later, the tunnel ended at a massive steel door hidden behind an abandoned train. Above it was the same symbol carved onto the ghost's silver coin. Project Phoenix. The vault door was already open. Adam slowly stepped inside. Rows of servers stretched across the enormous underground chamber. Thousands of files filled metal shelves. Photographs of children, medical reports, military records, everything Project Phoenix had ever hidden. Mia whispered, "My God, this is their entire operation." Lucas rushed to one of the computers. "These aren't just names. They're live surveillance feeds. Hundreds of cameras appeared on the monitors. Children from different cities, different countries, all being watched." Adam's fists clenched. They've been planning this for decades. Suddenly, a familiar voice echoed through the chamber. "I knew you'd find the vault." General Victor Kane stepped out from the shadows. Ethan stood beside him, unharmed. But something was wrong. His eyes were empty. His face showed no emotion. "Ethan," Adam whispered. His son slowly raised a pistol and pointed it directly at him. Kane smiled. "I told you. Project Phoenix already changed him." Adam looked into Ethan's eyes. They were cold, almost lifeless. Then Ethan spoke. His voice was calm, mechanical. "Target identified. Awaiting permission to eliminate Subject 001. Adam felt his heart stop. His own son no longer recognized him. Adam stood motionless. The barrel of Ethan's pistol was aimed directly at his heart. For a brief moment, the entire underground vault was silent. General Victor Kane smiled with satisfaction. "Look at him, Adam." No fear, no hesitation, no emotions. The perfect Phoenix operative. Adam slowly raised his empty hands. "Ethan, it's me. I'm your dad." Ethan didn't react. His eyes remained cold. He repeated in a robotic voice, "Awaiting permission to eliminate Subject 001. Mia wiped tears from her face. "This isn't Ethan. They've brainwashed him." Lucas quietly moved behind a row of servers, searching for another way to reach the boy. Kane noticed. "Don't even think about it." He pressed a button on a remote. A red collar around Ethan's neck began to blink. "If anyone gets closer..." The explosive collar detonates. Everyone froze. Adam looked at the collar in horror. "You put a bomb on my son." Kane answered without remorse. "A true soldier completes the mission. Dies trying." Adam's voice cracked. "Why?" Kane walked closer. "Because love creates weakness. I removed yours years ago. But somehow, you found it again." Adam looked into Ethan's empty eyes. He remembered teaching him to ride a bicycle, his first birthday, the bedtime stories. He refused to believe those memories were gone forever. Slowly, Adam reached into his pocket and pulled out an old family photograph. It showed him and Ethan laughing together at the beach. He held it up. "Ethan, do you remember this?" For the first time, Ethan blinked. His hand trembled slightly, the pistol lowered by just an inch. Kane's smile disappeared. "No." He grabbed the remote. "Forget him! Complete the mission!" Ethan screamed in pain, clutching his head. Memories were fighting against the programming. Then, the lights inside the vault suddenly shut off. Emergency sirens began to blare. A computerized voice echoed through the chamber.
Warning.
Unauthorized access detected. Self-destruct sequence initiated. A countdown appeared on every screen. The entire underground vault had become a ticking bomb. Red emergency lights flashed across the underground vault. A deafening alarm echoed through every corridor. Self-destruct activated. 0959, 0958. Steel security doors slammed shut one after another, sealing every exit. Adam looked around in panic. There has to be another way out. Lucas rushed to the main control panel, typing as fast as he could. The screen rejected every command. Access denied.
It's locked, Lucas shouted.
Only Kane's biometric scan can stop the countdown. General Victor Kane smiled calmly. You still don't understand. I built this vault. If Phoenix falls, every secret dies with it. Mia grabbed a hard drive from one of the servers. There are thousands of files. If this place explodes, all the evidence is gone. Adam looked at Ethan. The boy was still holding the pistol, but his hands were trembling. The memories were breaking through the brainwashing. Ethan, listen to my voice. You don't have to fight anymore. Tears slowly formed in Ethan's eyes. Dad? Adam smiled through his tears. Yes, son. I'm right here. For one brief second, Ethan remembered. He dropped the pistol. Dad! He ran toward Adam. They embraced tightly. Kane's face twisted with rage. No! He pulled another remote from his pocket and pressed it. The explosive collar around Ethan's neck began flashing rapidly. Beep, beep, beep. Lucas checked the timer. 30 seconds until the collar explodes. Adam desperately tried to unlock it. There has to be a release. Kane laughed. There isn't. You can save the evidence. Or your son. Mia suddenly noticed a small port beneath the collar. Lucas! The flash drive! Lucas's eyes widened. The encryption key. He inserted the silver flash drive into the collar. The blinking light suddenly turned green. Device disarmed. The collar fell to the floor. Adam hugged Ethan tightly. But before anyone could celebrate, Kane quietly pulled a pistol from behind his back. He aimed it directly at Adam. Then a familiar voice echoed through the vault. Drop the weapon, General. Everyone turned. Standing at the entrance, covered in blood but still alive, was the ghost. General Victor Kane slowly turned around. His confident smile disappeared. Standing at the entrance of the vault was the ghost. His black coat was soaked in blood. Every step looked painful, yet his pistol never wavered. Lucas stared in disbelief. You're alive. The ghost gave a faint smile. I've survived worse. Kane laughed. I should have finished the job years ago. You tried, the ghost replied. But monsters never expect their victims to fight back. Adam stood protectively in front of Ethan. The countdown on the wall continued. Der Fortschrittsventil. The self-destruct sequence couldn't be stopped. Mia copied the Project Phoenix files onto multiple encrypted drives. We're almost done. Kane suddenly fired. Bang! The bullet struck a server, sending sparks across the room. The ghost returned fire. Bang! Bang! The vault erupted into chaos. Bullets shattered glass. Hard drives crashed to the floor. Smoke filled the air. Lucas dove behind a steel cabinet and fired at Kane's guards. One by one they fell. Adam helped Ethan toward the emergency exit, but a massive steel door slammed shut before they could reach it.
We're trapped!
The ghost looked at the countdown. 0231. There is one way out. He pointed toward a narrow maintenance shaft in the ceiling. It leads to the surface. Lucas measured the opening. Only 3 people can climb through before the explosion. Silence filled the room. There were 5 of them. Adam, Ethan, Lucas, Mia, and the ghost. The ghost smiled sadly. I already made my choice. He took the final encrypted drive from Mia and placed it in Adam's hands. Expose Project Phoenix. Make sure no child ever suffers again. Adam shook his head. We're leaving together. The ghost looked at Kane, who was struggling to stand. No. My story ends here? He locked the vault door from the inside. Adam ran toward it, pounding on the steel. No! The ghost gave one final salute. Take care of your son. The timer reached. As Adam, Ethan, Lucas, and Mia climbed into the maintenance shaft. They heard the ghost say one last sentence to Cain. This prison was built for monsters. And today we both stay inside. Adam, Ethan, Lucas, and Mia climbed through the narrow maintenance shaft with every ounce of strength. They had left. The timer echoed behind them. Do-do-do pin. Concrete cracked beneath their feet. The walls trembled violently. Lucas pushed Ethan toward the exit.
Go!
Adam lifted his son through the final opening, just as a deafening explosion erupted below. A massive fireball burst from beneath the abandoned steel factory. The ground shook. Windows shattered across the city. Thick black smoke rose into the morning sky. Adam collapsed onto the grass, holding Ethan tightly in his arms. For the first time in days, they were safe. But Adam couldn't stop thinking about the ghost. The man who had spent his life trapped inside. Project Phoenix had sacrificed everything to destroy it. Mia quietly handed Adam the encrypted hard drives. His sacrifice wasn't in vain. Lucas connected one of the drives to a secure satellite transmitter. Within minutes, thousands of classified files were uploaded to news agencies, international courts, and intelligence organizations around the world. Project Phoenix was no longer a secret. The evidence exposed powerful politicians, military officers, billionaires, and corrupt officials who had protected the program for decades. Within 48 hours, hundreds of arrests were made across several countries. Secret prisons were shut down. More than 200 kidnapped children were rescued from hidden training facilities. Every surviving victim of Project Phoenix was finally given a new identity and a chance to begin again. Months later, Adam and Ethan stood beside a quiet lake outside the city. Life was slowly returning to normal. Ethan looked at his father and smiled.
Dad!
Do you think Mom would be proud of us? Adam placed a hand on his son's shoulder. She already is. As they turned to leave, Ethan noticed a small silver coin resting on a nearby bench. It was identical to the one the ghost had carried. On one side was the phoenix symbol. On the other were engraved 3 simple words. Freedom has won. Adam looked around. There was no one there. Only the sound of the wind. He smiled quietly. Some heroes were never meant to be remembered. And he honored the end